Hey guys, how's it going? So, my channel's not known for food recipes per se. Every once in a while I'll throw on some grilling or smoking videos or whatever. But this one is a unique recipe that I do every summer. And everybody that I talk to, nobody's ever heard of it. It was handed down to me by my neighbor that has long since passed away. And it's a great recipe. It's an old-fashioned recipe, and I absolutely love it. So I figured I would share. If you guys like pickles, you know, some people love them, some people hate them. This is definitely an odd recipe. It's old-fashioned mustard pickles. So it doesn't taste like mustard, like, you know, like mustard you're putting on your hot dog. It doesn't taste like that, so don't, you know, if you don't like mustard, don't freak out. But it is a very soury. It's kind of like salt and vinegar chips, you know. When you eat one salt and vinegar chip, your face might pucker up, but you want more, and you'll go back and get more. This is the same kind of recipe. So first, what we're going to do is get a crock. So this is, you know, an old-fashioned crock. You can get these at yard sales, antique stores. They are pretty expensive though. I've seen them run $40, $60. This one I got for $25 because it has a crack right here. But I do not believe this crack goes the whole way through. So, but pay attention to that when you're looking at these, because if you find one that's cheap, usually it is cracked, which won't do you any good. Or you can use a non-reactive pan. Like I've got a big stew pan that is ceramic lined, so it's not steel. So you don't want to use metal. You want to use a non-reactive surface. The next thing you need to do is you need to get yourself some baby cucumbers, and get the smaller the better. You know, you want bite-sized, something you can take out, have a couple of bites of. You don't want a big honking thing, because these things are, you know, they're a little bitter, sour. So you're not going to want to eat a whole big one at once. They're kind of something that you have 2 or 3 bites of, and you go away, and then 5 minutes later you come back and you get more. The next thing you're going to need is grape leaves. Grape leaves helps to put a seal on the bottom to help lift them, and also a air barrier on top. Just so much to keep the cucumbers in the pickling solution. And I don't know if it adds any kind of flavor or not. I've tried it without it, and they did taste a little bit different. So get yourself some grape leaves. You know, usually you can hit somebody up. Sometimes you can get these at stores. I had to go to a local farmer and request them. Sometimes if you go to a farmer's market, you can get them. Or if you see like those vegetable stands out by the road. And if they don't have them, a lot of times you can request them. Because of the fact they usually like to let them grow larger. So obviously they can fill up more baskets and make more money off of them. But I usually offer them a premium. You know, I'll pay you $20 for something you would normally pay $10 for. I don't care, because I love them that much. It's worth it to me. And also ask them if they can get you grape leaves. So that's where you need to start off with. And you put a layer of grape leaves on the bottom. Fill up your crock with your cucumbers. And I probably have more I can put in here, but the thing is, when you start eating these, you can keep using the same solution, and you just move them over and put new ones down in the bottom, so that they're in the bottom and they soak as they rise. So you can keep using this over and over again. I wouldn't say for like 6 months, but I've used this solution for probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 months and kept using it. So, again, make sure these things are clean. Scrub them off in your sink, cold water. Then we're going to start making our solution here. So the recipe, which I'll put it down in the description below, to make a 1-gallon solution, it's half water and half vinegar. So 8 cups water and 8 cups of vinegar. And I'm going to start putting this in here. So you can use either cider vinegar or you can use white vinegar. I've used both, whatever's kind of on hand. I think I prefer the cider vinegar. Now that's only 6, but I'm going to put my dry ingredients in here and then add 2 more cups. So then 1 cup of sugar. 3/4 of a cup salt. And let's hope I have it in here or it's going to be a real embarrassing video. About right. This isn't rocket science. The next thing is dry mustard. So this is what I get. Coleman's mustard, you know, you can find it at just about any grocery store. So don't use wet mustard, otherwise you just ruined the recipe. And it is a 1/2 cup of dry mustard. And again, not rocket science here. That's about good. So I'm going to try and mix this up a little bit. Break that mustard up. And that's kind of why I didn't put the last 2 cups of vinegar in there. Then I don't want to make a mess. And dump it in. I put so many cucumbers in here, I honestly don't know if it's all going to fit. It don't look like it's all going to fit. I'm trying to make sure that I get a lot of this salt and sugar proportionate in here. Well, maybe it will all fit. Look at that. So there's our solution. Now you see how everything's kind of floating to the top? You want to keep these all down in the solution because what you're going to do is this is just going to sit out on the countertop. You're not going to refrigerate it, you're not going to can it. I've tried canning it, and when you boil the solution to sterilize it, it turns everything all mushy. If anybody can figure out a way of canning this without doing that, that would be cool. So I went off and cleaned my grape leaves, and I'm going to put my grape leaves on top. The next thing I need to do is I need to weight this down. And there's several different ways of doing that. The way my mother did it is she had a plate that fit perfectly that had a little bit of a gap so that you could get in and out of it easy. This is the only plate that I got, and it's a perfect scary fit. It's almost wondering if I'm going to be able to get it back out of here or not. But I should be able to, because I should be able to push down on one side and get it out. A little bit scared of putting it in there this way. But what you want to do is you want to put a plate, and you want it to wade the pickles down in the solution. Okay. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're just going to put a towel over it so that it can breathe. And if you got a rubber band or something, sometimes you can put a big rubber band around this lip so that this thing doesn't sink down in there. And I'm going to look for a better plate to put in there. That was all I had right at the moment. So this thing's going to sit for probably 2 weeks before they're really good. Granted, I normally can't wait that long, and I'll start eating them after probably about a week. But they need to sit a little while to be pickled. They need to sit in that vinegar, salt, sugar, water, mustard solution to get all absorbed into it. And we've left these things sit out for a month, 2 months, and we keep eating them. They do get stronger at one point, and then they actually back off, and they're not quite as strong for a while, and then they'll start to they'll start to go bad. I mean, you can't be eating these things 6 months later, but yeah, they're freaking awesome. So this is part 1. I'm going to come back in a couple of weeks, and we're going to try them out, see what they look like in comparison, and I'll tell you guys, you know, how they taste, and you can try them out. For a lot of you canning and pickling guys out there, this is an awesome freaking recipe, and I hope you enjoy it. And for everybody else that doesn't care, sorry for the video, but I just wanted to pass along this this old recipe that, you know, I seem to be the only person that knows how to make it these days, and that's just not right because they're just too good. So, alright, we'll come back in a couple weeks. Okay, so it's only been about a week, and I've already been eating them. I can't take it. So like I said, you can soak them for, you know, 2 weeks or more. You can start eating them within a couple days, really. It just, the flavor profile will change over time. And if you get to a point where you really like the way they taste and you want to make more of them, say in like a week or 2 weeks, you're liking the way that they taste and you want to put more in your crock. I have taken them out before, put them in a mason jar, filled it with the liquid that's in here, and then put them in the refrigerator. They'll last longer in the refrigerator at that point, and they usually get a little bit crunchier. But you still need to run them through this process to get the flavor in them. If you just do this, if you just use, make your brine and then your solution and put it straight in the refrigerator, they won't taste right, and they take way too long for the flavor profile to build. You know, I'm sure it's got something to do with fermenting or pickling or bacteria or whatever. I don't know. I'm not an expert on that. All I know is I know the recipe. So anyhow, I have this cloth on here so that it can breathe, and I put a rubber band around it just to keep it from sagging and falling down in, because I'm sure the plate has fallen down into the water. So let's get the rubber band off. Try to keep that from falling in. My plate has sunk a little bit. So I'm just pushing down on one side, picking it up. So again, this was keeping the pickles, the cucumbers down in, because as you can see, they'll pop through if you don't. But that's another reason why the grape leaves are there. So this thing's been sitting, like I said, for about a week. You can definitely smell them. They kind of get a yellowish tint to them after they're been soaked for a while. Still nice and crunchy. And they taste great. It's a little bit of that sour, bitter, you know, like salt and vinegar chips, like I said, that make your mouth water. They're awesome. So if you've never tried this before and you've got lots of little pickles, cucumbers, by all means try it. I'm probably going to get some more and put them down in the bottom so that they can, so the old ones are on top, the new ones are on bottom, and just eat your way till the bucket's empty. So let me know if you guys like the recipe. Like I said, it's an old recipe. I don't know anybody that does this anymore, but they're great. So I wanted to pass it along. So you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you later.